All right, everybody. After being the recipients of a bit of a beating, we are back with game Series 2, Match 2, whatever you want to call it, of our doubleheader. It is Week 3, Day 3 of the Tilt Champions League. I am Jaws, joined by Rudy for Week 3, our third cast, and also our third matchup featuring the Inting Toasters, Inc. So, Rudy, I think it's a sign. And I'm hoping that we've got a redemption arc going on this week with Caridian joining as the jungler.
Dude, absolutely. I don't know who's not hype in the chat to see Caridian back in the league. Old blood bringing some new life to this squad. It's always interesting to see a shakeup like that and taking a peek at Caridian's match history. He's been playing some real fun junglers. So I'm excited for the match tonight. You know, if I can't win a game, at least I get to talk about another one. So you know what? I'm ready for it.
That is true. Watching other people play League of Legends is the best therapy for playing League of Legends. So they are actually going to be facing off against the janky old apes. Speaking of the old guard, Mr. Rookstout JOA, a stalwart of TCL, A-Barn's favorite Jarvan player. And, they're having a great season themselves. And, yeah, really excited to see how that jungle matchup is going to play out. But, yeah, a little bit of drama surrounding the Inting Toasters, Inc. But, honestly, I think for bringing Caridian in, he's a playmaking jungler. I'm excited to see what he does.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Janky Old Apes, what a squad they got. You know, Wojtek in the mid lane, always exciting to watch. Some people have champion Puddles. That man has a champion Ocean. You never know what he's going to pull out of his hat. And you know what I always like? This is going on at the same time as Worlds, right? So it's always fun in my mind to get a comparison between the metas we see develop in TCL and the metas that the people who are actually good at this game play on a stage like that. So we've seen a lot of champions like Hecarim and what else have they been playing at Worlds right now? Sorry, I blanked super hard there. But the TCL meta itself has been shaken up quite a bit over the last 2 days, or not shaken up, settled. Sorry, Going get into the swing of things. My bad, everybody.
Ah, you're good.
Has settled here as we get into week 3, like halfway through our season, getting ever closer to playoffs. It's going to be a great match to watch once we get it started.
No, it really is, and we do have a lot of new folks playing this season, myself included. Calbert, who's also playing on this squad, and yeah, there's a lot of new champion pools rolling in as well. As I mentioned, Caridian, playmaking jungler, likes to be all over the map and just do really cool stuff. I believe, Rudy, correct me if I'm wrong, he was also on a team with I'll Take Mid in previous seasons, so we do have some jungle mid synergy there as well.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So Caridian, been around since season 1, I think. Played some mid lane back then. Has played some jungle. The champions that he plays are all super fun, like we said. So we'll see how he does into JOA, who gravitates towards those tank engages. I mean, he'll get some Jarvan and vibe, but the man is known for his Sejuani, for his Zac. Those heavy engage players to enable the rest of his team. Oh, we have a guest on stream. Everyone, say hello to my cat. She likes to crawl up onto my desk.
Hello. Yes, I will. My dog is also here, but she is on the couch.
Amazing.
Not like to be disturbed, so.
Oh, I get that. Don't worry. So it looks like we are just about ready to load into the pick ban screen here. Thank you all for sticking with us. We are starting part 2 of tonight. You get double the TCL action in one span of time. Just had to get all the production and everything switched over. So yeah, I'm excited to get into game.
And let's talk about kind of the featured matchups that we're looking at. We had mentioned the jungle matchup before, but looking at the two mid laners, I'm expecting fireworks. As I was going to vamp, we're into Champion Select. Here we go. Blue side, Rudy, what are you thinking in terms of the bans?
So what I was just thinking about is I'm pretty sure both Tactics and Swiss are Thresh mains. I'm curious if that's going to be a contested pick or one team's just going to say, like, we don't want the other person to get it, so we're just going to ban it out. I do love the Actually, no, I would have expected the Trundle ban from the other side if I was being honest, because I said Caridian doesn't play as many of those tanks, but Rookstout is known for his tank play. So I would have expected Trundle to be a prio pick, but it's just the first thing that's out here. Ornn, another just like staple ban, right? Microscopic Rick, Hippogriff. Although, let's be honest, I will be excited if we see some Yone from Hippo again. That was fun last week.
Yeah. I mean, Hippo known for his playmakers. I would expect the set ban as well, considering that Hippo likes to play that champion. The Jhin directed
I love that.
straight at Calbert. Surprise!
He's
surprise,
so
Ricky.
good at
Jhin. I know you've been playing some games with him, and his Jhin is absolutely nasty. But yeah, I would expect probably set, considering what Microscopic Rick likes to play. Although I believe Cho'Gath does fairly well into set, so they may be banking on that. As Ashe is the first ban away from. Actually, it could be Tail Whip or Tactical, because I believe Ashe can support as well. Tahm Kench off the table in the top lane, or actually support Tactical, running a fantastic Tahm Kench lane in the bot side with the Senna week one of those other series casted.
If we don't see... Okay, so there's a Thresh ban, and I'm expecting either Seraphine ban here or Seraphine first pick. Tail Whip will always play Seraphine. I don't think there's a matchup he doesn't like it into. The guy loves the champion. He'll just sit back and strum his chords, you know. But I don't know if you want him to, because Seraphine is one of those champions that if they get it and they make it through the early game, it just scales your entire team so hard.
Yeah, it really does, as they're hovering on this last ban, and it is Fizz. Interesting. So Fizz getting some recent buffs in this patch. And yeah, I'll take mid. Loves this Assassins. Hovering first pick Seraphine. Would not be surprised if she is grabbed. She is still a giant pain in that bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's a Seraphine that we saw. I'd hope they pair it with some sort of tank, some sort of engage. Like, you definitely don't want like a double enchanter bot lane. Although, I mean, there's the possibility that does go to tactics. I would be shocked, just absolutely shocked if it went mid, because I'll take mid in the mid lane is known for his very aggressive assassins. Yeah. So that's probably put some good money on that, everyone. But Tactics could absolutely play the Seraphine if they decide they need to flex it around and get a different composition going.
Yeah, and looking at the fact that they banned their own Thresh with Tactical as one of his best champions, it looks like they were planning on getting the Seraphine. Maokai being grabbed as well. Don't believe Hippo plays at top, so that is likely going to be a Rook Stout jungle Maokai. And right in line with what he likes to do, gank early, gank often, and the Senna being hovered could be a takeaway for the janky old apes. With Calbert, actually, I believe he runs the Ziggs as well in the bot lane. So there's a couple of different options there. Fasting Senna, there's the Senna lock-in. And so Tail Whip and Tactics, they're going to have to decide what they want to do. Good news for Tail Whip, I'm pretty sure he plays absolutely everything.
Yeah, Tail Whip is one of those. I mean, he joins our practices often enough. He'll flex whatever role we need him to fill. Very, very solid player. Another champion that's almost impossible to ban out. But I tell you what, this season at TCL almost has me wanting to play Senna. And then I remember that I play support for a reason. I can't farm. I can't position. Right-clicking's too hard. Okay, Renata. So there's our bot lane for the side of not Janky Old Ape. Sorry. INT Toasters. Yeah.
Yep. And there's the Graves hover. All right. There's some of the Caridian specials. I would expect an AD mid out of I'll take mid, considering the Seraphine and the Renata grab, but could just be a jungle grab. It is Caridian playmaking Vi. That's right in line with what he likes to do. So I expect him to gank early, gank often, and try to snowball his team. Most of those, I would expect one of those ganks to probably be mid to start.
Yeah, I like that a lot better than the Graves here. Obviously, Graves is great for damage and scaling, but Vi has a lot more engage and pick potential, making those proactive plays. With the Seraphine Renata, that's a very reactive lane with both of their ults. Sure, they can be used to engage, but they do well with other setup. And Vi can be that initial thing to get everything grouped up and then blast them away. Okay, so Maokai... well, actually, I still think you're right. I think it's Maokai Jungle Sedge top.
Yeah, it's just an interesting pick from Hippo. He's more of a carry, twitchy carry player. So
Sedge does the damages, though.
Sedge does certainly do the damage.
A ridiculous amount of them.
It's just an interesting pick from him, something I wouldn't expect. Echo being banned out from I'll take mid. And yeah, I'm looking at where the damage is going to be coming from on the side of not on INT Toasters, Janky Old Ape. So I'd expect a very high damage mid laner out of Wojtek. That wouldn't be surprising from him. He has proven himself time and time again, able to carry out of the mid lane. Set being banned against Hippo may have been a wasted ban, depending upon where they're looking.
I mean, I guess
I'm not sure. I believe
like
Maokai
the Senna
only
Maokai support.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say unless this is
support
a wacky like support lane, which I mean maybe because you could run Maokai with the fasting Senna, so that is potentially viable, or even the Sejuani. So a lot of mind games here already, as we see. Actually, my client is glitching a little bit. I cannot actually see that fourth man.
I think it's a Swain. Actually, I can just look on the stream. I'm stupid. It's
Yeah.
so set Echo Silas. Set Echo
there
Silas
you
are
go,
the
set,
three bands
okay,
so far.
yep, and then there's the
So we're looking
Silas
for the last
back
band here, and I agree. So as we said, Wojtek has a lot of things he can play, but what don't we want him to play here, right? Caston comes to mind, but if it's Caston, you're playing for super hard scaling because he's not
Yeah.
gonna be able to put out that damage till later. Vlad's a good band.
There's another
The other thing in mind was like Azir, perhaps, right? I think we've seen Wojtek play that like maybe once, but again, this is our season 5 of TCL now, season 6. I don't even know. We've been playing for a while. Is the point?
Yeah, we certainly have. And there's the Yone grab. So I believe that is a Maokai or Sejuani bot. I
think it's Maokai support. I think it's Senna Maokai in the bot lane.
Yeah,
and I don't think they're gonna go fasting. I think they're just gonna have Maokai play Bush games all day. But yeah, we will see. Yeah, Tailwhip loves that new champion. He loves Nyla, but he's not playing it. No.
I mean, he did his best in that game too last week.
He did.
It was a tough road to hoe, but he did his best. Sion being grabbed, Microscopic Brick, one of his stronger top lane champions, and then we're gonna have to see. It's probably gonna be mid lane for I'll take mid.
Syndra,
Ari, by the way, still available for Wojtek. Wojtek known for his Ari play. They do have a ton of pick potential looking at the side of Janky Old Apes. And the Syndra being covered. Syndra is up. Syndra is incredibly strong. And the Lucian is grabbed in the mid lane. So there is your AD.
I like that.
There's all your AD.
I like that
that's going mid. Yeah.
Yeah, I would be shocked if it didn't. They could still flex it around. But then you have I'll take mid, renowned assassin player on a Seraphine. So perhaps not what you want to do with your picks. I did like the Syndra. Yeah, the Syndra hover received a bunch of buffs on the patch yesterday. From what I've heard, her win rate is currently nuts. And a Swain. Wow, they have a pretty strong comp if they can get through the early mid game.
Okay, well there's the damage.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that is a hard composition to kill.
Yeah, that's interesting because they've got the Maokai Senna scale incredibly well. Swain scales incredibly well. So Yone, I'd be surprised if they're not playing strong side top on the side of Janky Old Apes. Rook Stout maybe looking to get Wojtek going, but definitely looking to take advantage before the Scion becomes a big tanky boy. Yone able to snowball incredibly hard, so hoping for some fireworks in the top lane. But Lucian, he's going to really be able to beat up on that Swain early. So great pick from them, and not something we've really seen as often in TCL.
Yeah, I mean, play in the wave, use your double shot. Don't let that E grab you, and you should be able to do whatever you want to that Swain, who's like relatively short range compared to some of the other like heavy carry mages. But do want to call out, I was wrong. It is Swiss on the Senna here. Maokai is going to Calvert. So gonna get to see him play something fun. I think the only person we've seen go like the true like fast like Senna with a tank on your ADC, right, has been the IREP droid combo, and IREP plays what IREP plays, and he plays it really well. So interesting to see how other people do on this. Didn't check and see if they had any practice games on it, but should be fun anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, we are Inspector Delay, so if anybody has any thoughts on these two team comps, feel free to jump in the law one. We will pull you up, and we'd love to get your thoughts. Yeah, Rudy, what are your thoughts right now? Who do you think has the edge right now in the draft?
I'll be honest, I'm always a fan of a team that's easy, a team comp that's easy to execute, right? And in my opinion, that edge goes to Janky Old Apes, and it's absolutely because they have the Sejuani and the Maokai. Although it does look like Luciv came to chat with us about the draft, so I'll return to my thoughts when we have the time. Luciv, for the next 2 minutes while you're here, tell us what you think about the draft.
Just give you like 10 seconds to look at it. I think it's Pog. I love Calvert on the Maokai. What are we seeing? I thought he was a Gen 1 trick, so I also see that he plays mostly support champ, so maybe Maokai's right up his alley. Swiss, I think, is just like an all-around
He did get to Diamond on support.
That's what I'm saying. And Swiss is like an all-around talented player, so I think he'll be good to put on like a carry damage-wise with Senna, so I think that makes sense. Boy on Swain, I mean, sure, dude. He plays weird champs. I love that guy. JOA on Sejuani, Pog. Hippo thinks he's a Yasuo main and then accidentally picked the wrong champion, so that checks out. I think, like, in terms of situationally, like, operationally here, I like what the composition does for JOA. I think there's win cons on the side push with the Yone. At the same time, I think Yone operates well in the team fights that they set up. on the other side of the thing, I mean, it just kind of feels like comfort champ galore.
Yeah,
I'll take mid
sure.
on Lucian. Mid is trying to smash, which I respect. I mean, taking Knight's definitely a big send. I think they smash the 2v2s, even like the 2v3s in the top lane if they set up any plays going up there. And then obviously Tail Whip is an e-girl, so that makes sense too.
That is, yes, that is very true.
I think
with the security detail. So yeah, let's talk more about this mid lane matchup. Swain scales incredibly well. Lucian looking to take it to Swain early. Historically, Inting Toasters Inc. has played through I'll take mid. Do you feel like that trend will continue with Caridian now coming into the jungle for the squad?
I think it just has to, because if that Lucian falls behind or even stays even, I think it's behind, if that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
Lucian into a Sejuani and a Maokai that start to scale up, and even with the new Yone build, we'll see if Hippo's up on the tech here, but going Sunfire Cape on Yone, it's tough.
Do you think this is a Sunfire Bork game for Yone?
Yeah, man. What damage do they do otherwise? In my opinion, it completely
Especially if
eliminates
you keep that Lucian
Caridian.
even.
It
Yeah.
completely eliminates Lucian. It completely eliminates Scion. Tactics doesn't do damage, so whatever. So like the only thing you're worried about is Seraphine, but like, I mean, yeah, Seraphine does damage, but it's nothing nuclear. You know what I mean? Yone can do whatever he wants in the backline to kill Seraphine.
Yeah.
Very,
No,
very
I think
true.
that's a really good point.
Yep.
Well, as we get into game here, I'm gonna kick you out. Thanks for coming up here and helping us kill 2 minutes.
Hold
good
up,
point.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Who is going to take this before we kick you out?
I think Inting Toasters Inc. is going to actually win one for the boys. Real talk. I
right.
think
Win
for
one for
whatever
the boys.
godforsaken reason, Tailwhip gets too fed. But I'll let you guys get to it. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
You heard it here first, folks. Luciv is going to call Inting Toaster Inc. and specifically Tailwhip is going to be very, very fed on everyone's favorite e-girl. Rudy, as we're getting into a standard 5-point setup, who do you think is going to take it?
You know what? Luce is my boy. We've been boys for years, but I think he's wrong here. As I was saying when he joined, the comp that's easier to execute tends to be the one that plays better in this league. But his point about comfort shouldn't be ignored. I'm still going to give it to Janky Old Apes in game 1. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, actually, I think you're right. It's really going to come down to where Rook Stout can apply his pressure. If Hippo gets moving against Rick, I think that's going to be a major issue for the Inting Toasters Inc. And that's where I'm looking in the top side. If Hippo starts snowballing, there's always the clock of, how fast will I'll take mid kind of push in and do what he wants. Wojtek is one of those players that knows how to deal with that. So I'm definitely going to give it to the Janky Old Apes, but I would love to see a best 3 series. However, I am on West Coast time, so there's,
I mean, it could be
some
worse.
conflicts of interest there.
I'm central myself, so I got an hour on. I think I'd say at least half this league is probably Eastern, so it could be worse. It's worse for the players than it is for me. But yeah, I think Lucid made an excellent point as we get into the game here and see mirrored or perpendicular starts instead of parallel starts from the junglers. Yeah, that works. You're right. So I completely agree. I think Inting Toasters is going to play around topside there. Microscopic Rick, we love the guy, has been known to fall behind in lane a little bit. He's on Scion, which very comfortable champion for him. But it's going to be prone to the abuse from the melee, the double melee, right? They're going to have a really good 2v2 if the other jungler comes up. But Vi looking to go bot. I was thinking, oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah, it looks like Vi is pathing top side, or bot side, which, Renata plus Seraphine, definitely some serious kill pressure there. Maokai Maokai can be a little bit weak early, so that definitely makes sense. But some early poke going down on
that's what those saplings do, man. They're toxic.
That is just obnoxious, yeah.
I hate Maokai support so much. Ira played it last season, and it was just so annoying to play against. So not excited to see it back. Hopefully it's not meta and it doesn't make its resurgence. But as we expected, early push from the mid. Doesn't look like Joe's going to punish us. Going for his 6 camp clear. Hippo has the push in the top lane, so not necessarily where they want to be in terms of the gank, but getting some really good trades onto Microscopic Rick.
Yeah, this is exactly what he wants to be doing. Hard poke, shoving in. That's a good Yone start. Did not take the Ignite, known for being a pretty aggressive top laner, but opting for the TP for his team, and Rook Stout rolling in. Not quite sure if he's going to be able to make the gank happen because the lane is pushing in, but he's definitely looking to control the top side. as we settle into the laning phase. And Rick doing a good job farming under tower, but just continuing to get poked out. And speaking of poked out, Tail Whip also getting poked out. Good sustain from Seraphine, but the Maokai Senna roaming up through the river to join. I think they're just gonna look to ward. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Senna plays from such range, right? She can be very effective playing all the way behind her front line. So it's going to be just, oh, I'll take mid dashes there and it's forced down.
Yes, he is. I'll take mid, forced down through the bottom side river. However, they aren't really able to do anything. He didn't even have to burn his flash. Lucian is so mobile, and he's just going to walk back into lane as JOA rolls up and potentially using the scuttle to work his way into the enemy jungle top side. I'm trying to see what he can get, but it looks like all the camps have already been cleared, but he gets some nice deep vision as we see Calvert and Swiss Army Cabinet continuing to push in. Seems to be a trend with the janky old apes. They want to push in, but Hippo doing a great job with the lane state to allow Rook Stout to make something happen. Fight starting, but Microsoft is playing incredibly conservative. He's going to walk away, and the channel down from Rook Stout. He's going to back for, oh no, he's not. Wow, he's going to go in, and I believe he's going to go steal the Grom.
Yeah, I mean, the junglers started the exact same, right? They just started flip sides of the map, each took their own scuttle and tried to gank the lane that they were nearest to. As I was saying, what's interesting about this bot lane is the only way you have kill pressure from the side of the janky old apes is if you get on top of them. They will play from range and keep you there as long as they possibly can. Although, yeah, Prudian looking for the gank mid.
Yes, he is, but just a little bit of damage, and he's going to be walking out. So pretty safe starts from both of these teams. Both, honestly, all the lanes are fairly difficult to gank, and especially with Yone pushing in pretty hard, it's going to be tough to gank a Sion, especially under turret. So Rook Stout electing to just do some counter jungling. He's going to go back, and pretty even, actually, across the board, despite aggressive lane pushing from the side of Janky Old Apes.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what Prudian does when he backs or when he resets here and realizes that his top side is entirely gone, right? I mean, that's a super heads-up play from JOA. Realize that there's nothing to be had, but you see the Vi, you know she has the same camps as you, so you can time it off of yours. Now he's gonna go to his top, clear down through bot, I would guess, and just be up 2 camps and farm. So I mean, as you said, all safe lanes, difficult to find those early ganks, but heads-up play from the jungle.
Yeah, it is, and as I had mentioned before, it's pretty even. Hippo is actually starting to open up. I believe he must have caught a big wave. Starting to open up a bit of a CS lead here, and also starting to zone Rick off of the wave. So he's going to start working that Yone advantage and that carry advantage into the lane. And in the mid lane, still pretty even, which looks really good for Swain. Instinct Toasters Inc. really need to get that lane moving for I'll take mid. Otherwise, Swain scales, he scales like a monster.
He really does. And with the Senna there to back him up, and just the guaranteed engage that comes when you have a Sejuani and a Maokai, you know, it's a bit of a timer for the side of the Toasters.
Yeah, it certainly is. And 9K, pretty even, but here we see another trade in. Peridian is there. Are they going to be able to take advantage? No, he's just going to snap back and walk away, maintaining his lead. And if Instinct Toasters Inc. doesn't do something about this top lane, it is just going to slowly bleed out, and Yone will become an absolute menace across the map.
So it looks like they're going to take advantage of the fact that they saw Vi on the top side. He didn't get all the way into the lane, but they did have the ward and the Overbrush to look for the drag pressure with their crashing bot wave. And yeah, they took the scuttle, going to start it up right here. Maokai's going to stay in lane, but Renata warded it out right there. Vi's still top side. I would think that this is probably just a give from the side of the Toasters. Not a ton. Oh, nope, scared him off.
Yeah,
I guess, Vi had time to run down, so they didn't know where he was for sure.
Yeah, he really did. And Dragon being taken now by Rook Stout and Swiss Army Cabinet. It looks like this is going to be completely uncontested. They have scuttle control, they have great vision control, and yeah, nothing doing. This is now we see a walk down from I'll take mid, but that Dragon is gone, and they are just going to roll away. I can't tell if they're just going to give it, but there's Calvert taking some damage from the side of Tail Whip. There's there. And yeah, Rudy, let me know what you think about that quick.
Yeah, I think it was a great dragon play from Rook. Again, really heads up jungling. They back off a bit when they get the vision. But little ult from Rook's, ult from Rick in the top lane. Yone gonna dodge out of it though and get a really good trade. Gonna be able to crash this wave with no problem, and still be in a good spot. Has his ult up himself, so I'm hoping he doesn't dive. Really respecting her. I mean, he didn't shove that under turret when he knew Rick was going to back, so either he wants to set up a freeze or he thought Vi could be in the area and wanted to play a bit safer because he knows the 6 are coming through all across the board. With that, though, I'll take mid. I'm going to keep the push in the mid lane. Wojtek more than happy, though, as we talked about, just catch those waves. And Vi is working her way down down to bot lane with her level 6.
Yeah, she really is. Apologies, I am. I'm trying to figure out my internet. I'm
all good. I'll keep talking.
I actually unable to read the numbers. At first I thought I was blind, and then I realized my internet might be trolling me. So yeah, as you mentioned, I guess I can read the CS numbers, so we'll just stick with those. CS lead in the bot lane from tail up, but very slight. And we mentioned it before. Top lane going to be the tail of the tape, as we see attack speed boots being grabbed by Hippo, and he's going to continue to extend that lead 20 CS, and the team's gold reflecting that. And Rookstar continuing to roll in and grab more and more objectives. First it was Dragon, now it's Herald, and I'm going to give you 3 guesses where that Herald's going to go, Rudy.
Either top, mid, or bot.
That's absolutely true. So
I'm a genius.
If you guess one of those 3, you will absolutely be correct with no penalty.
Okay. But if you had to guess one
correctly, I mean, my guess is going to be top, but he may be wanting to get the Swain out, but I'm just thinking Swain scales, so...
Hippo's doing so well right now. Oh, but
yeah,
kerfuffle in the bot.
We do see a big kerfuffle, but here comes Caridian, try to make something happen. Getting incredibly low is the Senna, has to flash out, but that's going to be first blood on the side, or sorry, Seraphine, but the return kill from Caridian, and Caridian forcing the flash out from Calvert. Nice juke, he's been able to get away, and W's in, but Caridian going to look for the dive, and no, he's going to walk away. So overall, it's going to be a 1-for-1 Seraphine for Senna.
Who actually got the first blood there? I don't know if I saw the pop-up.
Oh, sorry, Maokai actually got the first blood.
So the Ignite took the first blood, like, quarter of a second before they managed to beat down Swiss Army Cabinet there. Good gank, and as we said, level 6 is when we're gonna start to see the spice. Well turned around on level 2, and we were wrong. They sent it mid to, as you predicted, get the Swain accelerated through and out of the lane phase. Gonna be the dive maybe?
Oh yeah, that's the dive, and Lucian having to flash out, Ignite going down, and that is going to be a kill. So Wojtek getting going, and they're going to just absolutely crash this mid lane turret, get it out, and they're going to start roaming, I'm expecting, with the jungle mid combination. Will they? Oh, they won't.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, as you take each plate, I think the turret gets tankier for each champion. Oh, play by tactics, flashes forward, gets the Swain kill. You know what? As a support main, you love to see that.
Yeah, you really do. Hippo continuing to exert his pressure in the top lane, but action across the map, and Rook Stout being the source of it all. That's kind of been his thing throughout all of his seasons of TCL, and he is continuing that trend. Now a bit of a, I believe, a 2,000 gold lead, little less than that, on the side of janky old apes. And next dragon, not quite up for a little bit. So it looks like we're probably going to see, I would guess they're going to start trying to crash that mid turret down and start making things happen, as Hippo continuing to just abuse this early matchup, and Rick having to force back. He does not have teleport, so he's actually going to lose a lot of CS for this.
Yeah, I mean, Hippo's pushing his advantage against the winning lane, you know. Hasn't gotten the 1v1 kill, so, I mean, props to Rick for staying alive here. But Hippo is doing everything he can to get ahead. It looks like Caridian's hovering around for the play here.
Yeah, he is. Malkyle going down, Caleb getting low. He's going to pop Calvert getting another kill, but he's going to pay for it with his life since Caridian is there again. So another Seraphine for Calvert, or Maokai this time. Rook Stout looking for the return gank, but he is not there. So Caridian hovering around and waiting for those engages and punishing them incredibly well. Great play, however, by Calvert and Swiss Army to get the return kill in that bot lane.
Absolutely, that's the second time they've came away even on a gank. And you know what? Take those, especially. Well, I guess both sides scale really well there. But you take those when you have the numbers disadvantage for sure. Really good sidestep by Swiss Army Cabinet there at the end to not get hit by the Renata ult. And that actually, do you know what happens if you ult somebody with Renata and there's nothing around, like nothing allied to auto attack? Does she just stand there? I don't know what that interaction is.
That's a good question. I'm not actually sure.
Well, if you know in the chat, let me know, and I'll shout you out on stream.
I'd be curious. I would assume it's either... Someone will know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
Nearest ally. Okay.
Yeah, you just run to towards your nearest ally.
While we have
they are.
While we have a second here, shout out Droid on the cast, and shout out Droid for his well-played game in the series before this. Ulted top to try to save the play mid. What is happening there?
Yeah, not sure what's going on there, but in the bot lane, they're continuing to just beat each other up. So,
yeah, needed ult. If we take a glance at Wojtek's health bar, he was at a sliver of HP left. So heads up play again by Swiss, getting the ult there, saving his life, and Hippo doing Hippo things up there in the top.
Yeah, he certainly is, and he's got shield bow as well as just more damage, more and more damage. He wants to snowball, and he's just continuing to crash this lane and forcing Rick to either freeze or just farm under turret. And Caridian once again in the bot lane, but this looks like it's going to be a proper 3v3. Rookstout trying to continue to exert his authority as I believe Dragon is coming up shortly. Rook grabbing the first dragon and just continuing to prioritize those neutral objectives. Great vision control, great scuttle control on the bot side, and it doesn't look like INT Toasters Inc. can really make any headway to set that up. Rookstout going back and clears jungle, but I would expect some more damage getting laid down as Caridian really wants. He's trying to make bot happen.
Yeah, I mean, jungler setting up a tent. What's new, you know?
Yeah.
But eventually it needs to pay off, right? Because as we've talked about, Rook has been all over the map. Taken the first dragon, the first herald, did a lot of work with it. That thing is 2 autos off, especially that were post 14 minutes, and those initial plate defensive stats have fallen. So gonna be an easy coordinated play to the side of janky old apes to knock that thing down and get those waves pushing, which it's always great to get the tower gold, but the vision that knocking mid tower down early gives you and the pressure on the map cannot be underestimated.
No, it really can. And that 2,000 gold lead, holding strong 15 minutes in. We said it before, I'll take mid. He's on a timer, and he's got a minor CS lead, but down a kill, down an assist. That is not where he or his team want to be, as Rookstout rolling down with Wojtek in order to... Oh, no, I guess they're just going to clear vision, but Rookstout really looking for that second dragon. Dragon definitely seems to be their win con in this game 1, and Wojtek honestly looks like he's just content to hang out and farm, because all of the janky old Abe lanes are pretty chilling.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw Rick ult back to lane, and Hippo does have TV available and is walking to catch this. Rick is first on the rotation down, but it looks like it's just going to be second Herald for second Drake trade. And they're going to keep stacking those Drakes. As you said, very consistent, easy goal to go towards. Have control of the bot side of the map. Get the dragons when you can. It's good for you.
Yeah, it seems to be that Rook really knows the which is they scale really well. They have complete control of these lanes, and they are chilling. So they're going to keep chilling, and they're going to wait to scale, look for that one big team fight, and then expect Wojtek to just run over it. Leandri's finished for him. Looks like Mythic's finished across the board on the Janky Old Ape side, both top, jungle, and mid. On the side of the INT Toasters Inc. for jungle and mid lane, those Mythics, but lots of components going, and yeah, it looks like they're just going to try and push this tower down, but Caridian is trying to do something about it. Gets the knock up, actually forced flash out from I'll take mid. They're trying to go for the counter engage, but this turret is on its last legs, and Rookstout starting to be aggressive in the enemy jungler, just trying to steal some camps and potentially give Wojtek a little bit of cover so that he can push in.
Yeah, I mean, it should absolutely fall in this way. There's no way mid should contest this. He knows Sedge doesn't have ult. I think they used it in a previous trade there, but yeah. And there it is, first turret for the side of Janky Old Apes. And Hippo continuing to do his best. Rick still staying alive. Did Rick just flash that wall? Oh, he saw Rook there. I didn't notice.
He saw Rook, yeah, and good flash from him because he was probably going to get pinched. Might have been able to walk away, but he didn't have his ulti up and he was fairly low health, so just minor mistake and immediate punish from Rook Scout. Just Mr. Objective Control. Goes straight from mid lane, architects a beautiful siege, and then immediately knocks out top outer. So now we have the Yone is unlocked, the Wojtek is unlocked, Gridion's looks like he's going to trade out mid outer, and yeah.
I don't think it's going to be quite enough
on the side. Sorry?
Yeah. No, I was going to say, I don't think it's going to be quite enough to get that mid there. I was just going to ask you what we think they're going to do with that Herald, because that's how they need to get some momentum back in this game. So far, Gridion's been trailing JOA. JOA's kind of been dictating where and when things are happening, except for the bot lane, and who knows what's happening there, right?
What's happening is a flash W from Maokai. He's going to go for the full lockdown, but here comes the teleport, so it looks like it's going to be an absolute party. As Senna's getting jumped on, she's going to go down, killing free fork for Gridyon. A counter teleport from Rick. Here comes Hippo. Hippo getting to Slay. Gets the ulti down, double kill, and he is just absolutely out of control. Calvert getting the CC down, and also in the mid lane while this was happening, Wojtek knocking out all take mid. A wave is with them. We could potentially see a dive, but Hippo taking one too many tower hits, has to flash out. But a great play on the side of janky old apes, rolling in, punishing the Gridyon hyper aggression, and that's going to be a 3-for-1 in favor of JOA.
Yeah, I mean, good teleport by Hippo. He was first on the move there. Rick followed, but was a bit too late. And during that entire thing, especially when I saw Hippo get that really good max range ult to knock down Tail Whip on the Seraphine, I'm like, that was awesome. Is he going to be way too hype and overextend here? And while he made a great play, did have to flash out of the turret there at the end to keep his life. So definitely hypey, but well played. Well played.
Yeah, very well played. And janky old apes continuing to march their way towards their win condition. 2 dragons away from Soul. Strong lead. Their Yone is snowballed, so he can just pick his side lane and start split pushing away. Only thing is his teleport is down, however, Rick's is as well. Rick has the long range engage, but at this point with Inting Toasters Inc., yeah, I'm trying to think through kind of how they push through here and stop this momentum, because JOA certainly has, Team JOA, to be clear, certainly has the momentum.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's got to be, how do we get to where we can, how do we realize a state where we can be comfortable being someone on the map, right? That comes down to vision. As we talked about, that mid turret, having your wave constantly pushed in is going to be a problem when it comes to these mid-game Baron threats and Dragon takes. And the fact that JOA has those 2 Drakes already is going to be really, really scary if they can't make a coordinated play and try to not... Oh, and Hippo gets the solo kill in the top lane.
Yeah, that's...
Excuse me.
That's what you like to see out of your Yone. Get him ahead, get him moving, and yeah, get him a solo kill. And side note, we have talked a lot about Hippo and his playstyle. He had a great TP into that bot.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah, microscopic Rick trying to push the wave back in, but this is, I would expect more of the same as Gridyon just fighting to claim his own camps as great pink ward from Hippo and another ward. So it looks like they have pretty solid vision control in the Inting Toasters Inc. jungle. Hopefully we'll be able to clear it out, but Hippo's just free farming at this point. He is ahead, and we got the Swain as well, starting to push the Lucian. 1v2 from Hippo. Hippo's just going to try to do some cool stuff. He's going to snap back at some point, and he's going to run away. Will Gridyon, however, be able to punish it? Hippo's just going to re-engage. He is feeling it, and for good reason. Swiss Army Cabinet getting the snipe, and from here on out, this is going to be actually a 1v2. I'll take mid, rolls in, gets the shutdown. That's a big shutdown onto the Lucian, but across the map, steady as can be. Rook Stout claiming the 3rd dragon. 1 left to go for Soul as Wojtek pressures this inner turret for JOA. Game 1 looking well in control for these janky old apes.
Yeah, absolutely. They've gotten that gold lead up to 6,500, and as soon as Gridyon committed to that top play, JOA just dove on that Drake. They're already setting it up, but that made it just exceptionally free. Objective bounty, playing on the top side. You know, bounty gamers can't be underestimated. Rick keeping that push on. That is gold back in the pocket. So good play by Rick, capitalizing on the fact that, hey, He's not on the map. We know they're bot side because they took the Drake. I'm safe here to push up and get some gold back for our team.
Yeah, and the gold lead's starting to extend. Check me, Rudy, 40,000, so 6,000 gold lead at about 23 minutes in. Soul point already for the janky old apes, and they look like they're getting a comfy little reset, get some major power spikes on their itemization, and just roll through pretty much whatever they want. They could go contest vision, get Baron. They could go siege down a turret. There's the Rift is their oyster at this point.
Absolutely. I mean, with your Yone being in the state that he is, just throw him bot lane, throw him away from the objective you're trying to play, make people respond, and threaten the Baron. Their Baron take isn't the fastest with the Senna, but pick mid lane question mark.
Oh wow, Flash W Calvert going incredibly deep. The attempted counter engage Vi going into the back line. Renata ult dropping down as well. A ton of damage being dropped down. But at this point, Seraphine getting Swiss Army Cabinet, but the return kill from Hippo, and it looks like janky old apes able to roll through. They are so strong at this point, this early in the game, and it is showing in that fight. 2 for 1. Swiss Army Cabinet is going down from the deep dive from Peridian, pays for it with his life, and then Wojtek grabbing another kill and continuing to scale.
Yeah, I mean, great twisting advance, I think is what it's called. And Maokai follows the flash, in case you didn't know. Now you do. And puts him behind the entire team, which is just what you want when you have that Maokai ult. Lock them all down. Hippo came from the flank, or from the side, really, and got a great play. Still has his TP up, didn't have to use it there. Now, as I said, just put the pressure on and have your team threaten that Baron. Probably have another 2.5, 3 minutes until that 4th Drake, which is absolutely the important objective, the thing that you really have to do. But guess what? Baron's on the map too. And when you have this much of a wall to throw at somebody, it can knock them out.
Yeah, it's absolutely, and it looks like that's what they're doing there. They've got the vision completely cleared. We see question mark pings going down on Baron, so Inting Toasters Inc. absolutely knows that that is a major threat. However, as soon as Soul Point gets up, when we have the Yone splitting, it's just going to split the map completely. Very aggressive push. Inner tower going down. Are they going to engage? Yes, they are. They have Peridian on their team. He's going to roll in, get JOA down fairly low, and this is a 4v3 power play, so this could be Inting Toasters Inc. getting themselves back into the match. Follow up, flash out from Calvert. Good blast cone, but here comes the Scion. Great engage. I'll take mid, taking Rook Stout out. However, that's going to be a double kill on what they need, and they are starting the Baron immediately. They absolutely have to claim this if they want to get back into this game. Wojtek and Swiss hanging out. Wojtek, full health. Swiss, not so much. So here's the question. Will they burn or will they turn? Wojtek flashing in. Still a 4v2, but he is very confident. Peridian knocks out Swiss Army Cabinet. This is going to be a 1v4. Oh my god. Are they throwing? This is a Baron, and Inting Toasters Inc. can take it. There's nothing they can do, and Hippo in the bot lane is going to try to get something out of it. I don't know what he's going to do about that, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was... The only thing that I'd say there that makes that less of an int is, could Yone have TP'd? Is that what they're relying on? Because Rick did walk into the lane to match him bot right about when they went in. So were they looking for it? But then he's like, oh, wait, I can't TP with the sign on my face, right? Easy interrupt. So perhaps they expected support from the person who's been making those flashy plays, probably has the most gold in the game at this moment. And the support just wasn't there. Yep. Okay, it looks like the Swain is ahead by a little bit, but he's up there breaking that 10k mark, right? So perhaps it was they wanted the TP from Hippo and it just couldn't come through because of the really good just insta back from Microscopic Rick. But that is absolutely what they needed to get right back in this game. Kills even, but we're getting to this Drake here, and as he said, it's Soul Point. They're just gonna keep knocking out those doors, and we'll see what we can do around this Drake play.
Yeah, no, they absolutely can. And the counter push in the bot lane, outer turret going down, and just like that, the gold lead has been cut down significantly. Inting Toasters, a great Renata ult rolling in. Hippo going in 1v5, trying to make something happen, but not really able to do much. The Seraphine sustain starting to be a bit of a problem, and by securing this dragon, delaying Soul Point another dragon. Great play. That's coast-to-coast objectives from both Baron and Dragon for Inting Toasters Inc. They are back in this game.
Yeah, I mean, they got the Baron, they got mid turret, they got bot turret, And then they got the dragon and sprinkled a couple kills in there as well. With that, we see almost even gold lead. I think it's down to like maybe 1k, which at this point in the game is not nearly as significant as it would have been 10 minutes ago. And another fight in the mid.
Yeah, Calvert going for the engage. A couple folks getting incredibly low. Actually, Hippo knocking out Caridian. This is the fight that JOA wants. They are getting tactical low. They have champions popping left and right. And League of Legends is such a cruel game just when Inting Toasters Inc. thought they had some way back into this game. Rook Stout and his squad slam the door in their faces. 4-0 exchange. Mid-inner going down and the inhibitor soon to follow.
Yeah, I mean, we just listed off everything they'd gotten in the last 2 minutes, but guess what they didn't get? A back. You know, that's a classic thing. Oh, we just won that fight. We're right back in it. But you can have all the gold in the world. If it's in your pocket and not spent at the store, it doesn't mean a darn thing, right? Definite overstay there, and that's the team fight that we were talking about. It's very simple. Frontline just diving in with the Hippo and the Rook and the Calvert, you know. It's Wojtek just going to do whatever he wants from this point on in the game. I would suspect, sitting at 3 items in boots, the man is enormous.
Yeah, he absolutely is. We see the Leandries, Rylai's, and Zonia's 3 items on the Swain. The Swain train is chugging away. Caridian with the counter engage, though, off of the missed Rook Stout ulti. And this is, once again, a 4v4. Wojtek going incredibly low, has the Zonias trying to sustain through it, but he's really low. He's going to go down. That's a lot of their gold in the bot lane. Hippo forcing the flash out from Microscopic Brick, but another double kill from I'll Take Mid. And Inting Toasters Inc., they are refusing to give up in this situation. Caridian continuing to be on the chase, does finally get rooted, but he is continuing to go after Swiss Army. Doesn't quite get him, gets one quick punch, and that's going to be all she wrote. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Microscopic Rick holding his own against a fairly snowballed Yone. So Inting Toasters Inc. not going away. Definitely down gold. But next Dragon, I think that's going to be it, Rudy.
I don't know. It's so...
The base, however, the base is absolutely in shambles, so that's a major problem.
What Inting Toaster Inc. has done really well here is they identified the problem, came up with the solution on the fly, right? The problem is Hippo killing us 3v1, right? How do we deal with that? Well, Rick hasn't died to him one-on-one all game. Rick is still deathless through this game. Put him in the bot lane, make sure the guy can't come to the team fights, and we'll just opt into the 4v4. The AoE ults from Tail and Tactics have been insane in these chokes that they're fighting in, and just by so much crowd control and time, just stretching apart this ball comp that's just trying to get in your face and letting them get picked off one at a time.
Yeah, that is the death ball they're looking for. The one saving grace for Inting Toasters Inc. is that Wojtek, a little bit of mispositioning, maybe overestimating his sustain a bit too much. He's going to have to be careful in these fights. But if they play a fairly textbook fight with the Sejuani engage, a great counter engage by Caridian in order to punish that missed Sejuani ult. Looks like deep vision going down, top lane being pushed out by the Sejuani, and the entire squad of JOA rolling in, and they want round, 7 at this point. We've just seen fight after fight after fight. Caridian, known for being a fairly bloodthirsty jungler, and he's living up to his name. Some great agency from Inting Toasters Inc. as the teleport is coming in from Microscopic Rick. Caridian going incredibly low. Caridian actually going down. Hippo getting into not quite the back line, but it's gonna be enough. Wojtek getting credit for the tactical tactic death. Hippo backing off. Great cycling of health bars as people are getting low. They're getting into the back, but Rook Stout leading the way, tanking as much as he can. Microscopic Rick doing the same. What is going on? A complete turnaround. Just free hitting from I'll Take Mid in the back. And that is actually going to be a 3-for-2 in favor of Inting Toasters Inc. But the base, once again, in shambles. Are they able to hold on? Yes, actually, both towers hold and both Nexus turrets unscathed. Inting Toasters Inc. is not giving this one up without a fight.
Not at all. Before that fight got started, I was taking a glance at the inventories, and I'm like, I'll take Mid. You know, he was like 0-2 at some point. Right now, he's 5-4 before that fight, obviously. The guy's sitting at 3 items, and Lucian, excels in the mid game, right? Crit Lucian especially scales very well. It's a bit of a range issue, right? But he's playing it so well. And in that fight, with Rick sitting in front of him, Seraphine and Renata keeping that thing alive for as long as possible, he just put out so much damage with that Kraken.
Yeah, he really did. And this is another soul point denied by Inting Toasters Inc. They are playing the math game so well, and their comp, interestingly enough, despite the Caridian, they've got a great fight back comp. Their sustain is fantastic. And they've got a great counter engage with the Scion. So there's a lot of interesting interactions, especially with Ronaldo ult. You don't really want to fight into them, and yet in terms of looking at the janky old apes, that's exactly what they have to do with the Maokai, with the Sejuani, in order to make something happen. So we were mentioning before that we thought janky old apes had the superior draft, but looking at the picks on the side of Inting Toasters Inc., it actually makes it incredibly hard for them to do what they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, Seraphine as well, sitting at 4 items right now. The thing has scaled.
Oh boy, and here we go. Caridian rolling in, getting an immediate shutdown onto Senna. Here we go. Hippo trying to push in, gets exhausted, immediately gets a good ulti down, but he is in the back line pretty deep. And Wojtek going down again. Oh no, Wojtek, you are so much of your team's gold. And this is Inting Toasters Inc. Again, great control. Could probably get the scuttle, but they're going to go straight for this Baron. They just want to take all of these global objectives off the map. Will Rook Stout be able to get a steal? They certainly do not have position, and they certainly do not have priority.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think somebody in the chat said it right, just pure aggression from the side of Caridian. That is what this team has, and that is what they're using to get back in this game. With that, I think the gold might even be pretty darn close to even, with plenty of turrets left to take.
Yeah, it is, and it's paying dividends. A lot of times you're looking at Caridian and you're
300
seeing
gold diff right now.
Yeah,
it's so
yeah,
close.
It is. It's so, and they have closed the lead just by total objective control. 2 dragons, 2 barons. That, like you said, they probably needed a back and reset after taking all of that gold. Maybe overstayed a little bit, but just strong play across the board. And the question is, at what point will the scaling comp of the janky old apes really pay off? Because Lucian is starting to get absolutely buck wild, and so is the Seraphine. The big thing I got to call out is Wojtek has gotten himself blown up in multiple fights. So hopefully JOA they're talking to their team, talking amongst themselves, and saying, hey, boy, we know that you're super duper strong, but unfortunately you cannot out-heal death, and you cannot out-heal getting popped. So hopefully they can get one good engage, make it happen, but that soul, they have to get this soul in order to make this happen. But like you said, aggression happening, and Wojtek going down again, and that is going to spell disaster for the janky old apes. Caridian making the plays, pushing in mid-inner, rolling in through to the inhibitor turret, and this looks like it could be inhibitor for Inting Toasters Inc., who we thought was completely on the back foot early in this game, and we're potentially going to lose the scaling battle. I guess not.
I mean, no flame to the guy. He's obviously much better at this game than I am, but Wojtek had no business being that far up in the lane. And with that, I mean, they're fighting over the Nexus turrets.
Yeah, they are. Renata ult rolling in, Hippo going in. 4v3 gets a shutdown, gets the snapback, but here comes Scion just tower diving.
One shot.
Straight ahead, immediately pops Hippo, and he's just walking in and punching people. And this is going to be a rapid-fire win. Game 1 going to Inting Toasters Inc., a total turnaround from their team's performance weeks 1 and 2.
Wow, it turns out what the Toasters needed was a jungler who has no regard for their own body and will just throw themselves at the enemy team time and time again. Caridian with a commanding debut game. Aggression on that Vi didn't make a lot happen in the lane phase, but as soon as the game became unlocked and people started rotating around, just superior macro play and team fighting from the side of the Inting Toasters Incorporated.
Yeah, that was wild. And shout out to the Seraphine. Holy crap, that damage. But more importantly, I'll take mid. Beautiful kite back fight in the top lane to really crack that game open. I believe he got a key shutdown early on Hippo. Hippo overextended, key shutdown early, and then what looked like it was actually going to be a complete rout on the side of Janky Old Apes actually turned into a beautiful kite back fight. And I'll take mid. I believe he got a double kill, potentially a triple, and since then, that was Baron, that was Dragon, and then they just kind of took it from there. So big shout outs to All Take Mid for doing his job. And also, I have to give Tiny Rick some love. That kill in the Nexus was absolutely hilarious. And yeah, he just did not give up despite a really rough matchup.
Did he finish deathless? I think
Oh,
he
no.
might have. He didn't
No.
die much.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God, you're right.
Yeah, he didn't die once in lane, did his job,
Wow.
absorbed the pressure that came his way, and you know what? The man inted for not utilizing Scion passive more. That's all I got to say.
True.
No, I'm just
Very
kidding.
true.
Shout
Very
out Microscopic
inefficient.
Rick.
Very
Shout out
inefficient
Microscopic
lack of Scion passage usage, but that's all right. So that is Inting Toasters Inc. taking game one, as we said, a total culture flip from their week 1 and week 2 matchups, and Catalyst really being Caridian, just making plays 8, 5, and 10, just slaughtering people left and right, really high KP. Really excited to see what kind of adjustments they're going to make in game 2. Rudy, any final thoughts on this game 1 before we take a break and set up for that second game?
Nah, I think I'll come up with something smart to say as we load into game 2. But for now, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
언제든지 내 모습 매직 단 한 번에 내가 잡아 절대 기죽지 않지 펴펴 네가 뭘 알아 견딜 수 없어 원해도 원하는 게 얼굴에 보여 I'm trouble and you running it I'm so cold when I move that way you gon' be so blown I'm the realest in the game said I'm on fire with the blade you're about to hear my name ringing in your head like whoa so keep your eyes on me now 무엇을 보던 좋아할 거야 we so tough let's get it show you up can you feel the rush now ain't nobody bringing us down 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 they could try but we gonna wear the crown you could go another round 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 wish you luck but you're not bringing us down we go hard till we get it we go hard we so in it we pop stars only winning ain't nobody bringing us down 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 난 멈추지 않아 we go hard we pop stars ain't nobody bringing us down 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 they could try but we gonna wear the crown you could go another round 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 wish you luck but you're not bringing us down we go hard till we get it we go hard we so in it we pop stars only winning now ain't nobody bringing us down 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 down
Love it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a topsy-turvy and frankly surprising turnaround. Inting Toasters Inc. taking game one in this series against the janky old apes. In the second half of this double header, and Rudy, what a performance by Caridian, the new jungler for his team, just taking it to the janky old apes and really unafraid of the fairly large gold lead they had amassed. Well played by them to turn that one around, take every global objective they absolutely could, and then take it home and potentially look at a 2-0 sweep for the Inting Toasters Inc.
Yeah, I mean, having just come off of a series where I threw game one by face checking a brush at 35 minutes, I know how it can be to like regret that one play. You're like, man, why did I do that? And if I had to be honest, I gotta imagine Wojtek is thinking that why did they go in 2v4 into the Baron pit? Swain ult flashed into them, got one shot. Really just was not the fight for them, and that's where it turned around. You got to give credit where credit is due, and the Inting Toasters took advantage of that. Down 3 Drakes, 7k gold at 22 minutes, and they're like, you know what? Light work. We'll take this game one. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was very impressive show resilience from the Inting Toasters Inc. able to bring it back. And we mentioned before, I'll Take Mid doing such a great job of kiting back and basically doing what he needed to do to carry the game. It's why he says I'll take mid, because I will carry that game. Any thoughts on adjustments from game one in terms of the bans as we see Trundle going down from also side note, no side change. So both I'll Take Mid, Caridian, Inting Toasters Inc. staying on blue side, Janky Old Ape staying on red side, Trundle first ban. Rudy, any thoughts on ban adjustments for either team?
I sure hope so. Throw that E-Girl out of the window. I think Seraphine ended with most damage in the game, and I mean Renata also like doing a lot of buffing up there in the back, but the Renata ult, the Seraphine ult, there was just so much zone control that allowed them to like just really crush those mid game like 4v4 scuffles while Yone was stuck in the bot lane doing his best but never succeeding at killing Microscopic Rick. So like you gotta ban the Seraphine, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I would assume so, as we see the Thresh being banned once again. So they're banning one of their own strong champions. Although Swiss Army Cabinet, no Thresh slouch himself. Ash, the first ban off the table from Janky Old Apes. As we're winding down, what will it be? There it is. Yeah. Yep, they agreed. Get rid of that E-Girl. Nobody wants to see that. She is very, very annoying.
I'm so interested by the Ash ban. I think they did it game one too. Like, what is this Ash ban about? Is there something that they know that I don't? Like, is like mandate Ash OP into everything Switch plays or something? Or like, is Tailwhip just gonna pop off on the Ice Queen? I have no idea where that's coming from. No idea. But
what I do have is an idea of why they banned Jhin, but I think we've talked that to death. The Ash, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe someone in chat can correct me if support Ash is also a thing I've seen.
That's what I was saying, like Imperial Mandate, Ash support. Because I can't imagine they probably with that hard to take away from Tailwhip, right? I mean, Tailwhip plays a ton of stuff.
He does, but there's the Senna. So both Seraphine and Senna off the table. What will the first pick be for Inting Toasters Inc.? Not able to utilize that fourth ban to grab the Seraphine away.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of prio contested stuff, I maybe like J4 is like shared between the junglers, but other than that, everyone is pretty comfortable in what they play. I mean, Wojtek obviously plays most of the champions, mid does, but Lulu lock in, easy. Jinx also just got some buffs, so I'd be interested to see if Tailwhip wants to play her. I'm positive the guy can, but Jinx Lulu is a terrifying thing to deal with. Yeah,
it certainly is. The Asua Hover, I mean, he does, he can. But will he? I hope not. The question. Well, I mean, he got one win, bro. Maybe he's going for the dose. But it's winding down. There's the Maokai. Okay, early grab. This Maokai early pick is so potent because it really can go anywhere. I don't think he's going top, but now that they've established the support, that Maokai can flex jungle or support, or I don't know, maybe Hippo's been working on Maokai.
I mean, top. It's technically a 4-way flex, right? Because you could just make it a true support and not go fasting.
Oh, actually, no, it is not a flex because they banned the Senna. So it's going to be a little bit trickier for the Maokai to roll top. I mean, I guess he could still go support, but with the Senna, that might be a little bit trickier. As the Caitlyn is grabbed for Calbert, very safe, very straightforward. Good laner, good team fighter.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely see Maokai Kate being a viable bot lane for Cal and Swiss. I mean, Maokai has plenty of CC to get that trap down, although don't want to see the anti-synergy, right, with the Q knocking them out of the root from the W and avoiding the trap. And I have no problem with the Twitch lock in here. Again, okay, Sivir, also fine. Just pick some high damage output, like get me to 2-3 items and let me take over a team fight AD carry. Sivir, we floated out the Jinx earlier, Twitch, all kind of fill that role in their own way. But Sivir Lulu, if you don't try to abuse that thing early, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, the Sejuani being hovered as well. Caridian can play engage tanks as well. Played pretty well on the Vi, though. Okay, there's the Diana. Ooh, that's nasty.
I think that's a mid Diana.
That is 100% an I'll take mid Diana. It is something that has been consistently banned against him, and for good reason. I believe it's one of his most played champions and one of his highest win rate champions. So that is looking real good in the mid lane. It also opens Caridian's pool up for what he likes to do, which is AD bruiser playmakers, Lee Sin, Vi, as we saw in game one. There's the Yone. So I would expect that to be a Maokai jungle, Yone top. Let's see what the rest of the bans are going to be.
Yeah, I'm curious if they try to just pinch Rick out here, you know, or if they go for Crittian. I'm gonna disagree with you slightly and say there's a 95% chance that's an I'll take mid Diana. Obviously, Man is
Fair.
known for the champion, but Crittian has played a jungle in his recent match history. It's not impossible, but I agree, it's very likely going mid, and it looks like they think it's gonna go mid, or it's gonna go to Crittian because
Jungle,
banning
yeah.
out the Echo from Diana, or from, sorry, I'll
If it
take mid.
actually goes mid, then that flex pick has paid off.
Yeah.
If it is in fact a wasted ban, the mind games on the side of Inting Toasters Inc. Potentially paying dividends as the clock winds down for this other ban. Yep, there's another Vladimir ban. They had that one in game one, trying to take Wojtek off of the hyperscalers. To be fair, the Swain also a pretty nasty hyperscaler, but we mentioned before, just some positioning mistakes, potentially not having as many reps on the Swain as he had with other champions. And the last ban, ooh, what is it going to be? I'm curious. Yeah, are they getting in their own heads about this Diana pick? Because you're right, it could flex one way or the other. It looks like they're talking about it. There's the Graves.
So they're
okay,
just
looks like
covering
they're
their
hedging their
bets
bets a
there.
little bit.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, exactly. They're like, I guess either way, we don't want to play against this. We don't want to play against this. Let's play it a bit safe here and take one of each off the table. I mean, with that, I'm expecting to see another Wojtek ban. I forget what just taking away the Jarvan. Rook Stout again loves the Jarvan pick. Lets him really free ganks with that EQ combo, the flag and drag. Especially if you can hit that flash knockup, which according to Blood is difficult. I don't think it is. Whatever. I guess I'm just a better player than Blood.
It's a skill shot that is punished if you missed it. So
no, I know. I'm just getting a bit of gentle flame on my boy Blood. We talked about
shade.
a season or two ago. Yeah, back when he was my cabin. Oh, my cabin. I don't know, whatever. But the Sejuani locked in for Rook Stout. I mean, looked great on it last game. Had plenty of had good positional pressure, not necessarily lane pressure because of how safe everyone played the early game. I think we didn't have our first blood until like 7.5 minutes or something like that, and then it quickly spiraled from there. But yeah, good lock in for Rook Stout.
Ooh, Malphite. Yes, sir. Going against the Yone. I really like that. Going to be able to stack armor up and hang out. Malphite, fairly pokey for a tank. And the Silas hover. So you may be right. This may be a Caridian jungle and an all-take mid. Silas, another solid pick. Yep, you called it, Rudy. I was completely wrong. The mind games worked. That's going to be a jungle Diana and a Silas mid.
I mean, they worked on you. They worked on the janky old apes. It's okay. That does give them a lot of AP on the top side of the map. I mean, Malphite, Diana, Silas, like very efficient itemization should come out of the top side, you know, to protect from those ganks from those 3-man plays. But that also means, like, if not Caridian, he just has the champion. If Tailwhip falls behind on the Sivir, they're going to be really lacking for that AD damage split.
They are, and the Syndra being grabbed for Wojtek. Syndra incredibly strong this patch, and the patch just dropping today. As we see the swaps, the matchup's gonna be the Silas versus Syndra. Oh, that Diana. We got a taste of that in game one of our series. That is real nasty, especially.
Luckily, there's no Yasuo to ruin the rest of the day.
That is correct. 2 press Rs. However, Sivir having a press R button of her own, and Malphite as well. So a legit press R comp on the side of Inting Toasters Inc. And then a lot of pick potential, a lot of early pressure on the side of the janky old apes. Rook Stout on his trusty Sejuani.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm actually curious, Rudy, what the community thinks about this as well. So if you would like to talk about what you think about this draft, feel free to jump into Law 1 and we will pull you up. But Rudy, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking, man, if I'm Caitlyn, I'm pretty scared right now. I'm going to have a Malphite, a Diana, and a Silas all trying to ruin my day. Sure, I have really decent peel in form of Maokai and potentially Sejuani, but they're going to need to know in their heads that, hey, half of the enemy team is going to be wanting to dive on top of my squishy carries. How are we going to play these fights, right? A little bit harder there. But on the reverse, if your entire team is diving and you're Sivir, you're going to have to position really well to be able to get that damage out. Obviously, Lulu scales excellent with hyper carry ADC like Sivir. So going to have peel there in the forms of shields, speed ups, and the ult to really give you that knock up and that HP boost. But it does require a delicate balance of positioning and knowing what your team's going to do to help you and what you can do to help your team win the fight.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and I really like the Inting Toasters in comp. Especially looking in the bot lane, the Sivir Lulu poke. Caitlyn definitely has the range advantage on Sivir, but if Maokai's Twisted Advance is fairly broadcasted, so he's going to be able to spell shield out of the Twisted Advance. Lulu, incredibly good at kiting, incredibly good at poking, and Silas can snowball absolutely out of control, and so can Diana. And with the easy engage of the Sivir and the Malphite, I think Inting Toasters Inc. are poised for what I would consider to be a major upset. Although, with considering Caridian, how good he is, how much experience he has, I don't know if I would call it an upset. Maybe just a righting of the ship for the Inting Toasters Inc. But Janky Old Apes can't count him out. Rook Stout is a chess master in terms of the macro play. And we've seen Wojtek and Hippo absolutely carry games when they get a lead. So,
I see what you did there. Rook is a chess master. You're a genius, Jaws. I love me a bit of wordplay.
That was 100% on purpose.
I believe you. Don't worry, I believe
totally.
you. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think Rook has some definite plays that he can make bot. Maokai is gonna play the bush game, right? Sure, Lulu has really good early levels 1, 2, where you can get those autos and you have picks just doing an extra 60 damage each time. It's kind of ridiculous when you're playing into melee support like that. But if Rook is able to find a good path and get around on them, because of those saplings in the bushes, Sivir and Lulu are going to need to be playing the top side of that bot lane, right? Which is going to put them right where Rook wants them. So hoping he looks to path bot. On the top side, Rick did really, really well playing against the Yone last time. Obviously, different champ this time, but guess what? This one likes to build armor even more than Sion does. Yone technically does have mixed damage from his passive, I believe, but it's still more than 50-50 weighted towards the physical damage, so it's going to be helpful.
This is actually a really good matchup for Malphite. Yeah, I mean, Yone, you got to be careful early, just because Yone does can do a lot of things, but Malphite just wants to rush armor. And he's actually surprisingly pokey. So we're getting into here. Rudy, final call. Are we going to see a 2-0 from Inting Toasters Inc., or are we going to get silver scrapes and not sleep tonight?
I'm going to do something different, and I'm not going to give you a prediction because I'm curious to see what will happen. Every single time we've cast this year, I've done a prediction on the stream and in the Twitch chat, and every single time I've lost. Both my opinion has been wrong and my bits have been gone. So I'm going to not predict. And this way, you know what? Anybody can win. Because it seems like at this point, if I bet on you, the caster's curse is real and you're going to lose. With that being said, hey, Blood, get the prediction in the chat. We want our fake money.
That is true. If you would like to bet your internet points on one of these two teams, our good sir Bloodbath and Beyond, an enabler, some would say, will help you blow all of your internet points on whatever you think is the right pick, which is usually the wrong pick because that's usually how gambling works. I'm gonna bet on Inting Toasters Inc. I think they've got the momentum, and just the resilience they showed was so impressive, and it looks like they made some great draft adjustments in game 2, and I really like how easy their engage is and just how snowbally they can be. A little bit snowballier this time around than last time.
Yeah, I mean, so we had a pause at the beginning of the game as we're loading in here. I'm going to pretend that was to give Blood a chance to run the prediction in the chat. Thank you, Mr. Blood, for doing that. But yeah, it seems like we might still be paused, or is my stream frozen? What are you seeing right now, Jaws?
Yeah,
okay.
It's a little bit of
a
spectator bug, so we're gonna go stare at Officer Caitlyn and whatever Rook Stout grabbed for. Oh, but we got Festive Maokai. That's the most important scan. We got Festive Maokai. We got Snowball Syndra. They should have gone total holiday theme, although it is Halloween coming up, so it's a missed opportunity for Skinergy. Tactical Tactics, however, going with the little spooky witchy Lulu. So nicely done. 'Tis the season, y'all.
Yeah, fun fact about me, Halloween is my least favorite holiday for so many reasons.
Really?
I know that's going to make it really unpopular in the chat, but I don't like Halloween, man. So many reasons. We don't need to get into them. But I'm huge proponent for Christmas, so loving the festive Maokai.
Yeah, it is. The only downside of that holiday season is that it's absolutely cold, and I do not like cold, which is why I don't live on the East Coast.
Yeah, no, I live in Madison, Wisconsin. There's plenty of cold and snow to be had up here.
Now, to be fair, though, Madison, Wisconsin is really, really fun, so it kind of makes up for the fact of being cold.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Midwestern through and through, so I'm born and raised. It's in my blood, as they say.
Yes, as is the thickening of the blood as we see a 5 point, which is why we're talking about the holidays, because this is just a standard, no cheeky invades, just a couple saplings, a couple wards, and looks going to be a bot side start for both junglers. Ceridian rolling in, expecting probably a full clear from the Diana, and really able to make some plays, but Diana, such a fast clear. And then looking at Rook Stout probably looking for some early pressure. Looks like strong side bot side for him, actually. He's starting top side into it. But now we see immediate action from All Take Mid, going in on Wojtek, doing some fancy footwork and to dodge those Qs. And that matchup looking real good for Mid, opting away from the AD carry and more into the Sylas. And Rudy, if you had your bets, what ultimate is Sylas going to be looking to steal here?
So, I mean, there's a lot of good options, right? Sedge and Yone both give you just like so much guaranteed engage. Sylas loves to be just in your face. Sedge lets you catch up. Yone puts you in the middle of them, gets that knock up and pull in, right? But the Syndra ult, the damage on that cannot be understated. Obviously has that AP scaling, and he's going to be building plenty of that. So there's tons of good ults on the top side. I mean, Kayla and Maokai are both really good too situationally, but I'm thinking it's really Yone and Sedge who's going to be looking for to be a bit of that engage with along with his team right now, because they have the go button that is Malphite, but Sylas gives you that flexibility to change it depending on like where you're at in the game.
Yeah. No, that is absolutely true, and we see slight gold leads or slight CS leads, but nothing too crazy this early. Early push on from the bot lane on the side of the janky old apes, being able to take advantage of the Caitlyn range and the abusive support Maokai poke, and then in the top side, Hippo just beating up Microscopic Grip.
He's got to be tired of those trade patterns by now, right?
Yeah, it's very, very annoying, especially pre-itemization. So Rick, however, doing a great job of just getting the farm that he needs to get. He's got the Corrupting Potion, so he's just looking for the pokes that he can get, farming, expecting to just farm under turret, playing the weak side as he needs to play, as we see All Take Mid once again going on to Wojtek. Wojtek getting fairly low, but good stun away, and some counter poke, but Wojtek going incredibly low early. That is the kind of lane that All Take Mid wants to play, and why grab that Sylas, and usually why that Sylas gets banned.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Rook's like, I mean, if he's gonna do that twice, what are the odds he does it a third time, right? Sitting around waiting, and yep, there it is.
Whoa, there's the Ignite. Wojtek going incredibly low. He's ticking down. He has the pot rolling. Will he survive? Yes, he will. Great heads-up play from him, but in the top side, Ceridian trying to make something happen against Hippo. Ceridian fighting in a minion wave, so you got to be careful, dude. You're taking a lot of free damage. Microscopic Rick, however, is not there. Flash from Hippo, counter flash from Ceridian, and Hippo's going to be able to get out. So a lot of fancy footwork, a couple summoners burned, but actually a bit of an advantage on the side of the janky old apes. One flash for two, and Hippo still being alive, but in the bot lane, Tactical Tactics having to flash out. Tailwhip getting locked up, and Calbert and Swiss continuing to push in. Tailwhip getting poked out by that superior Caitlyn range, and a bit of a CS lead starting to open up from the janky old apes in the bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, Caitlyn loves a support that brings her some CC, right? Because that trap, headshot, net, headshot, Q, whatever, I don't even know how it works. I'm not an ADC player. But the combo that lets you do that amount of damage when you can guarantee the trap is nuts. And just like we talked about last time, when the Maokai was on Calbert instead of Swiss, if that lane can get on top of you, it's gonna hurt. When you're playing the Lulu and the Sivir, as I said, it's going to be all about the positioning. You need to whittle them down. You can't take the all in, because if the Caitlyn and the Maokai do what they want to do, it's not going to be good for you.
Yeah. No, and that is exactly what they're going to do. They're actually about to take another poke. Oh, Tailwhip, you got to be careful. that is a Rook Stout diving special. He is not in range. He is on the top side clearing his jungle, but he would love to roll in and go for a quick easy tower dive against a low 80 carry. In the top side, Hippo still getting the better of these trades early. The Corrupting Potion is rolling. Rick, though, has to be careful. Hippo fighting the wave, taking hits. They're both getting fairly low, but we got the tier and the corruption. That is full. I'm going to hang out and scale into mid-game. Slight gold lead from Hippo, but you mentioned before, Rick deathless in the last game, doing a great job of doing his job as we see the stun going down on the Wojtek repeat gank. Great stunned down, but a dive in and Caridian getting first blood on that Diana. Exactly the gold that they want on their jungler. Inting Toasters Inc. carrying that momentum into game 2, 500 gold lead.
Yeah, I mean, just a couple of quick notes there. First of all, shout out Rick, doing a much better job hanging in the farm lead here. Seems a bit more comfortable on the Maokai into this matchup than he did on the Scion. Again, not that he did bad on the Scion, absorbed a lot of pressure, but doing a really good job keeping him in CS, not being bullied nearly as hard as he was last time. As you said, has the corrupting the tier, doing a great job. And can mid miss those chains? Because I haven't seen it happen yet. Just, I mean, telling Wojtek, this is how this matchup's going to go. You're going to have to play. You're going to have to respect me, especially when my jungle's here, to knock you down and secure that first blood.
Yep. Slight gold lead opening up, as you said, on the side of Inting Toasters Inc. in the mid lane. And actually a mild gold lead, although it's a big wave, so we'll see if they can make it back. But there's the first ultimate for Malphite and the Diana. Oh, that champion is very, very silly. They're going to be pushing in. Will Rick survive? Yes, he will.
I thought that last caster minion shot was going to get him.
Less than 10 health. He had single-digit health to survive that dive. Beautiful play by him. Caridian following up 2-0. The snowball is rolling in the jungle. And yeah, Caridian making his mark in his first TCL series this season. Inting Toasters Inc. in the driver's seat, 1,000 gold up.
Yeah, I mean, JOA, this jungler he is, right? Jungler shows on the top side of the map. I'm going to go to the bot side, take the objectives I can, because I can't respond there, right? They lost the kill mid and top. They're going to take this first Drake. And as you said, this is a team that loves to play, or as we saw in the first game, sorry, this is a team that loves to play around that Drake and just stack those up to create a win condition for themselves.
Yeah, that is the JOA special. If I see the jungler on the opposite side of the map, as you said, I'm going to grab first dragon. So making sure that they keep the objective lead and the objective pressure on, despite being, yeah, they're fairly even. But now another flash W, great polymorph on the side of Tactical, but Rookstout is there in a quick conversion onto the Lulu. We mentioned before how Lulu has pretty solid peel, instant polymorph onto Swiss Army, but Taylor just not able to follow up. And unfortunately, Caridian, normally a great counter ganker in the bot lane, spending a little bit more time on mid and top side, not able to be there for the response. And if you look at the vision control, very much bot side jungle focused. They really want to get this Caitlyn moving, siege down that bot tower, unlock this duo, and get them moving across the map as the stun goes down in the mid lane. And in top lane, we see Bombies, but here comes the Sivir ult. Caridian trying to make something happen. Great ulti, vacuum in. Calbert's low. Will he go down? One more auto will do it. One more actual auto will do it. There it is. And this is just going to be a walk down 2-for-0 return on the side of the Inting Toasters Inc. Double kill for the Sivir. So quick flip on that lane after getting really beat up early from Tail Whip.
Yeah,
he knows what to do with the lead.
Sivir into Caitlyn can be really difficult to play because of the range difference there, but way to keep your head up. And again, Caridian being a part of everything that happens is down there for the return game.
Off camera, but Hippo actually just flashed. We're going to see the end of this. Microscopic Rick, I believe he's going to go down. Yes, he will. Hippo flashed the Malphite ult. It was off camera, but it was absolutely gorgeous. And he just punished the Malphite all in, doing a great job against what is a tricky matchup. Bomby Cinder first grab for the Malphite. We see a cloth armor as well, and there are the greaves for him. But not opting out from the Bramble Vest as we see Rook Stout and team going after the first Herald. Will they grab it? Yes, they will. And that is going to be a shutdown as well. Swiss Army's going to pick that one up. Slam
question mark.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, that's what happens when you have no regard for your own body. Sometimes you just walk in and die.
Yeah, I mean, you're 2-up-2, doing a great job, keeping pressure on the map. So, I mean, the question is, even if you get the Herald there, you get the Smite Steal, you die, so you're giving up at least 300 gold. I mean, Herald typically gets, what, 2.5 turret plates, so that's going to be about 300 gold. Gotta calculate the worthness of that there. Maybe he thought he could one-shot Swiss, but yeah, no, not quite. Caridian just doesn't find the play he want at Herald. Great, I mean, good supports do this, right? At like 8 to 10 minute mark, whenever they get their back, they roam up there and make that Herald play. Swiss was in the area, an easy secure there with a kill on top. We'll see what Rookstout wants to do with that Herald. Or I'm sorry, actually, Swiss picked up the Herald. So perhaps they're just like, okay, we lost that 2v2 bot, or sorry, 3v2. But now we're going to get those plates back. And as you said, unlock this Caitlyn, let it do it at once and see what we can take around the map.
Yeah, but Caridian is hovering around the bot side, clearing vision and setting himself up for what is expected to be a pretty aggressive push. And Hippo, though, really putting the screws to that Malphite. Here comes the ulti, disengage coming down from the Malphite. Tailwhip actually spell shielding, walking through the Malphite ulti. Caridian, however, just out of range with his Crescent, not able to make that happen. And Caridian continuing his pressure in the bot side, but Rookstout is there, and Wojtek as well. So this is going to be hardy in the bot lane for the janky old apes. Rookstout hanging out, waiting for them to just step up. Wojtek is there so as well.
They're so
wow,
dead.
They are. I certainly hope so. Malphite ult is down. They better be dead with this investment. That is going to be Tactics going low, Tactics going down, Tailwhip being able to get away. He is stunned, and this is going to be a 4-person push as the continual dude with sword wax rock. Herald dropping, and yeah, I would expect this to be the bot turret going down. Caridian is there to try and defend. But I wouldn't really expect much beyond that bot tower going down. There it goes. There go the plates. Dragon up very, very shortly. And Rookstout doing what he does. Caridian going on Swiss Army Cabinet, potentially overextending. He gets the kill. However, he is going to go down. The return kill. Flash out from Tail of Rookstout continuously on the chase. Tactical Tactics is there. Good ulti from Tactical to keep Tailwhip alive, but Caridian overextending a little bit. And showing the double-edged sword of being super aggressive and super bloodthirsty.
Yeah, I mean, it's an exciting game. I'll say that much at least. I mean, with that, gold lead within, what, like 500, 600 right now. Second Drake has spawned. It looks like the red side, the side of the janky old apes, will be taking their reset, learning lessons from game one, even if it was their opponents that made that mistake, and they're like, you know what, we got the kills, we got the turret, let's walk out, spend that gold, we can return here and make the play in a more coordinated fashion on the next reset. Do you see a lot of pings coming out mid?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm just watching this. I'm just watching this mid lane exchange. I'm like, wow, they're doing a lot of cool stuff and nothing's actually happening. But we see the Caitlyn coming down in the mid lane. Rookstout is continuing to clear vision on the bot side. Dragon is up. They are going for that soul win con. Hippo still even with Rick. Rick chilling. I would assume an Aegis is in his future.
Yeah, I mean, so they got the bot turret. That was a great coordinated play. Now, okay, we have the Herald. How do we use it to crack something open before plates drop? Great job. Silas did manage to take, I think, 4 plates of his own during that exchange, so it wasn't completely for naught, right? He got a lot of pressure, and cracking that mid is so important for those mid-game rotations, as we said, if you're able to get those waves pushed. So perhaps they just look to trade Drake for the mid lane turret here, but nope, looks like they're going to walk in and see if they can't make the play. I do believe ults are up around the board, so let's get a mid-game little scuffle going, huh?
Oh yeah, this is going to be an explosive dragon fight. Wojtek grabbing blue buff. Everybody is here except for Hippo. So there's actually a very small window where Inting Toaster Zinc could fight or make a pick and create an instant power play. A lot of the vision being pushed out, and it looks like they're going to try and force a fight on the mid turret. Engage coming in from Janky Old Apes. Tactical Tactics gets immediately blown up by Wojtek. Will the counter engage happen? Microscopic Rick is there. He gets the Malphite ulti rolling in. Silas drops. However, the bot lane of the Inting Toaster Zinc is down. Caridian soon to follow, and he gets the kill onto Hippo, but it's going to be a 4-for-2 in favor of the janky old apes, and they are going to take down this second dragon.
Yeah, I mean, the go buttons from the side of janky old apes were pushed just a little bit faster than the go buttons from the other side, and they got split apart. I think it started off like 2v4 before everyone was able to rotate in and really make that what was never a 5v5 because of the people that got blown up. But great engage and layering of CC, knocked down Tactics, and then the ult right onto I think Tailwhip right after was able to secure them the other kill. And then mid was, I think, tanked like 5 turret shots over the course of that. Silas Healing is just ridiculous. But
yeah, Silas is absolutely nasty. Oh, Rick being forced to flash out. And tragically for Tactics, getting picked off, not able to to use any of his summoners or his ultimate, so definitely a factor in that team fight, which saw a little bit of back and forth. Caridian going for the counter engage, I'll take mid, doing some work, and unfortunately they weren't able to kind of make up for the fact that their bot lane got dropped fairly quickly, but we'll have to see if Tactics is able to stay alive. He has a lot of targets that he can just keep alive. With his ultimate, with his shield, and even with some of his speed boost. But it's going to come down to really Caridian. He did a huge job for his team making plays in game 1, and here he is now playing the objective game, grabbing Herald in this game 2, and making sure that they keep things tight, and tight they are. Less than 100 gold separates these two teams. The major difference being those two dragons on the side of the Janky Old Apes.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about gold, but what's just important as the amount is where that is located, right? Caridian sitting at 4 kills. But on the other side, you have the Syndra with 3 herself. Caridian does have highest gold in the game. Yep, double checking. But Caitlyn is right behind with all the econ that was pumped into them early from the pressure they were able to put on the turret and knock down those plates. Caitlyn is going to go very well into her 1-item, 2-item power spikes and do a lot of damage to these mid-game fights, especially if they can play out like they just did there, with the Maokai and the Sejuani being those just beefcakes in the front to let her free fire.
Yeah, that's gotta be how they're making this happen. And Syndra
and Joe is 303.
Yeah,
you love a fed boar.
Yeah, I mean, he's looks like he's working towards the force of nature. Microsoft Rick looking to try and take Hippo out of the equation. Hippo going to try and do what he did last time, but I don't think that's going to work. Malphite has ulti now, and Caridian is pretty darn strong. 5-3 and 3. Got that Gnasher's Tooth finished. And yeah, that's going to be another turret down.
You Herald bot lane, and I Herald bot lane.
Oh, they're going to keep walking it up, and that is, I believe that could just be a double take because the Herald did not crash on that outer, so they're going to have to walk the Herald in, escort it to have it crash on the inner. I'll take mid, stopping backs, and they are going to roll through, trying to maybe get a crash onto the inhibitor turret. I don't know if support Maokai is going to be enough, as we see in the mid lane as well. Sivir and Lulu are sieging down mid to try and prevent Syndra, but they do get the crash. Well played by them. That bot inhibitor turret is incredibly vulnerable now for INT Toaster Sync. So 2,000 gold lead in favor of them.
Cross-map team play there is what I'm going to call that, because they wouldn't have gotten off that second charge without I'll take mid being a complete nuisance on the top side. They realized that, hey, they have 3 top, we got the kill bot, let's get this thing as far as it'll go, and with that, they've done a ton of damage to the bot lane turret. That'll be there for somebody to pick up on the split when we're talking about Baron later. Give it about 10 minutes, and I guarantee that's what we'll see.
Oh yeah, both of these junglers have their timing down pat. The vision on point. Great defensive vision, by the way, from the Janky Old Apes, making sure that their jungle is protected on both sides. Calbert pushing out lanes in the top side. Both teams keeping up nicely with farm. However, one of the major farm differences in the jungle, we called that as our featured matchup for this series. Caridian really starting to get ahead on that Diana, not just in terms of kills, but also in terms of farm. So he is rolling in, has the Rift Maker now. Big old power spike for him, and I think we're going to see that in the next fight. INT Toaster Zinc likely either, maybe going for the Baron, they got the Caitlyn to siege, or starting to prevent the soul point from the Janky Old Apes, who Rook Stout has never seen a dragon he didn't want to take.
I mean, that's exactly true. You got to be thinking, if you're either side, Baron's cool and all, it's 20 minutes, it's going to take a long time to take. People have time to respond, don't have any inhibs down to create pressure force across map. This dragon's got to be where it's at. Third dragon is probably the one where you want to start fighting, especially if you're in the position that they are. I mean, tiny little gold lead, but you're hitting those item spikes that you were calling out. Everyone across the board has their mythic finish now. I think Kate and Diana are the only one who are on 2 full items at the moment. But if it's a Caitlyn and a Diana's on top of the Caitlyn, I think that matchup's going to go to Caridian. So, again, we'll see what they can do in terms of the team fight. And do we have a Death Rush in our future?
Yeah, we got a Death Rush here. Flash out actually from Rook Stout, and this could be a really nasty counter engage. Hippo getting in the backline, but immediately has to disengage. That is not what they want. Calvert is incredibly low. Swiss Army Cabinet doing his best to tank, but Caridian just hard diving into the back, and the Silas over pretty much untouched. Calbert having to run for his life, and so does Rook Stout. I'll take mid, rolling in. He is going to get the assist as Tail Whip drops the kill. Dragon is up and ripe for the taking. 3,000 gold lead now for the Inting Toasters Inc. as they are going to take down this Dragon and stall out the Rook Stout janky old ape strategy. But I'll take mid. He's not done as Dragon was happening. Solo kill in the mid lane, and he is just going to abuse this mid-inner turret.
Yeah, I mean, he just chases down the Cade and takes that while she thinks that everybody's on Drake. Gonna get the turret on top. You love to see taking advantage of those advantages. I mean, I was a little bit hesitant at that play when it started off from the side of the Toasters, you know. Malphite ult, huge team fight ult, you use it on one person and use it on the tankiest person with that glacial armor up on the Sejuani. They don't get the one shot, but they manage to fight in that corridor so well and knock those people down. Tail Whip pumping out the damage with that Kraken Slayer and ricochets. Yeah, it was a well-fought team fight, starting from the Death Rush, which is absolutely my favorite thing to do in League of Legends. There's nothing more fun than one-shotting somebody who doesn't know they're there.
Well, there's also no more fun. There's no more fun than having a Death Rush with a Malphite, because it's just one button. And
AP Malphite, I'm an ARAM AP Malphite main, in case you didn't know. It is so fun.
Oh yeah, no, it is. That does sound fun, where you can just two-shot people. I remember playing Malphite mid. That was wild. But Malphite, this Malphite is going very, very tanky. Frostfire Gauntlet as well as the Frozen Heart. So a lot of armor, just face blocking the Yone and the Caitlyn. So Wojtek gonna have to just. It's gonna be tough. I'm not quite sure who he could even target in order to pop. Tail Whip probably the closest, but gonna be able to block a lot of that damage.
Yeah, you're gonna have the Lulu to deal with. I mean, she has the shields, the speed ups, the ult to just make you a little bit tankier for a second. It's gonna be very difficult for the Syndra to play this, despite her, I think, 3-0 start to the game.
Yeah, Syndra, very strong individual champion, but into this comp, Inting Toasters Inc., we said before, their composition, the draft, they did.
Just gonna start a Baron.
Really offset it, yes, and this is a Baron start. It seems like Inting Toasters Inc. knows how strong they are. Will we be able to see a Rook Stout hero steal? No! Caridian's going to be able to get it. Rook Stout is stuck. He is polymorphed. He is going to go down, and they are not done. Microscopic Rick over the wall. See ya later, Caitlyn. I'll take mid. Unstoppable 6, 1, and 4 on this Silas. A staple ban for him, and he is showing why.
Caridian is the key. They just needed somebody who was as aggressive as they wanted to be. They are following up the every dive he makes. And sure, as we saw in the early game, not every one of them works out. But man, is this team taking an advantage and running with it, even when playing from behind in both early games. They're now up, I think, like, what, 5,500 gold? Something like that?
Oh, no. Oh no, Caridian, you are going deep. I'm assuming you're going to drop Hippo, but Swiss Army Cabinet trying to lock him up, and good play by him to get the trade kill at least. But this is an 8,000 gold lead, and Rudy, an absolute reversal of what we've seen out of Inting Toasters Inc. in weeks 1 and 2.
Is this another overstay from the Inting Toasters? I don't know. Maybe. Sure looks like it could be.
Well, that's a dead all take mid, so probably shutdown going on to Wojtek, and hopefully in comms they're saying, all right, let's chill, let's reset, and then let's get moving, because they have this gold lead, and I'm trying to see when the next Dragon is going to be up. Going to be more than a minute. They have the Baron, and they have a lot of options if they want to siege, split push, or everything in between.
Yeah, to me this looks like, sure, save your Barons, get your reset, sync up with your friends who unfortunately died, and then go use that Baron, push in the bot lane, right? Have somebody pressure top, especially, yep, you have the TP on Microscopic Rick. Set him top, pressure the open inhib, push that bot turret that's cracked pretty hard, then you can just fade back to Drake, right? Take over vision that bot quadrant of the map, and really play for securing that next objective.
Yeah. 25 minutes, and as I mentioned, 6,000. So some of those overstays and those shutdowns cutting the gold lead a little bit. No major globals on the map, so it's gonna be the tower siege game. Tail Whip grabbing the red buff, and the bot side jungle absolutely is the battleground as we see the minute to go on the Drake. Inting Toasters Inc.
Yeah, like,
daring
so
the janky
early.
old apes.
Why aren't you
to fight
pushing
into
lanes
them
right now?
There's the stolen Maokai ultimate. We were asking which ultimate Silas was going to steal. Apparently, it is Maokai. Meanwhile, Swiss Army Cabinet sitting on the blast cone. Looks like he might want to go in and give Silas a taste of his own stolen medicine.
Silas ult is already halfway back up, I think, off of cooldown.
Yeah, that's kind
He'll
of
just take another one and try again.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, they were here a minute early. They really could have just been pushing bot with the Baron, sieging up and like pulling the map apart. Again, don't want to criticize too much. Macro is hard, especially when you're in the heat of it and you really want to focus hard on objective. But with the resets, are they giving Drake 2?
Well, I would actually say, looking at the mid and top pushing in bot actually. So they actually did a great job of setting up those waves, and just with that scary Maokai ult, we're able to push out and establish a vision. So it looked like Janky Old Apes were not comfortable walking into blind, especially with a Malphite, with a Diana. That's a very scary walk-in into a counter engage, and so absolutely free dragon for Inting Toasters Inc. Continuing to press their advantage and walking into the base with 2 exposed inhibitors. Rook's out slightly out of position, so they may be able to take advantage of this and force a fight or make a pick.
Yeah, I mean, so do they have Baron? No, looks like Baron buff has expired at this point, which is really, I'm not saying they didn't do a good job pushing
that is true.
But with Baron buff, it changes what you can do, right? You can, especially with 2 exposed inhibitors, but we're not going to see perfect, like, ideal optimization of every single map movement, so completely fine. At the end of the day, they do manage to secure the objective. It is now 2 Drakes to 2 Drakes. Similar situation as we saw last game, but 1 less Drake for the side of the janky old apes.
Yeah, and just buffs across the board. We saw them stealing, potentially off camera, stealing the red buff away. Tailwhip getting a refresh. Caridian shoving away in the top side. Hippo trying to make sure that there's decent wave management in the bot side as well. But this game right now is an absolute powder keg. And Inting Toasters Inc. has all of the dynamite. Baron probably going to be the spark that completely cracks this game open, and I'm looking at the side of the janky old apes and trying to figure out what their win condition is, because they blow the Sivir up, Silas and Diana run over the fight. They blow the Diana up. I don't know if they can do that at this point, considering how tanky she really is, especially with the demonic embrace finished.
I was just going through some similar thought patterns myself. It's really gotta be Hippo's gonna be the one who dives their backline, while you have to, with the Syndra and the Caitlyn, need to kill the Silas or the Diana in a coordinated thing when they come to dive you. Maokai's got to be on the peel game here. Uses ult defensively. Let Rook actually look for those plays and kill one of those 2 AP assassins that are going to be all over you. Or get a pick. That works too.
Ooh, or you could just get a pick on I'll Take Mid. He does Zonia's, but in the mid lane, there's another fight going on. So we've got a 1v2 with I'll Take Mid. Drops his ulti, jumps right onto Calvert, and he's just going to pop him. So even if he is going to eventually go down to these tanky boys, although he is Silas.
Is he?
Oh, he might. Well, we'll see. He is going to heal, and he has a lot of items. I think Rook's finally going to take him down. Or maybe not, because he's Silas. Holy crap, that healing is insane. I'll Take Mid, wasting so much time, and he finally goes down, but the base is just in shambles. Inhibitors going down, both inhibitors going down. I'll Take Mid. At first, we thought, oh, that's an easy pickup, but he bought so much time for his team. Death onto, he was able to kill Calvert, stop the backs, and this is a complete destruction of the janky old apes base. 2 inhibitors down, and Inting Toasters Inc. will take that trade every day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, with that, they're up about a little over 7k gold. Baron is spawning. Next play seems pretty straightforward. Silas, as we said, what a champion, and I think I called out during Champ Select. If I was Caitlyn, I would not be looking forward to playing this game. We saw exactly why there. Just complete one-shot from the Silas. Not super fun for my boy Calvert.
No, that was rough. I think he might have just needed to walk away from that one, considering just how bursty Silas can be. But I'll Take Mid, showing why he is one of the top mid laners in this league. 7-3-5. He's got Proto Belt, Nashers, and the Void Staff. Probably gonna get a Zonia's at some point. Saw his stopwatch in one of the previous fights get popped. 30 minutes in though. About 7,000 gold lead. Baron is up. Vision is being contested. What
and
are
your team
these
is
guys
just
gonna
scaling.
do?
Siver's at 3 items with the Lulu behind her, right? Given those speed ups, the heal cut, everything that you need from him. Right now, it's you got the Baron on the map. Start threatening that, even though your jungler is the one who's pushing the way bot side. Not sure about that one, but I guess they're like, you know what? I don't care. This should open Rook up for a bit of a steal if he doesn't get picked off walking up the fifth.
Yeah.
Okay. And they realize that, hey guys, our jungler's not here, and theirs is literally right by the red buff. So maybe this isn't the best idea to just start up right now. So I'm okay with the peel off. Also, it's a good look. If they don't respond, free Baron, you walk it down mid, you end the game.
Or they just go walk and take free dragon, and they're at soul point. So now they have to. They'll force Rook Stout to make the impossible jungler choice. Do I take the Baron and give soul? Do I walk?
That's not quite soul point. Yet. Not quite soul point.
No, but it will be. They're going to get this dragon for free.
Correct.
So
it does look like
that's a rough position to be in, especially when you have 2 inhibitors down. This looks like it's going to be a free dragon, soul point. Just walk in, grab that open inhibitor.
Yeah, Critting positioning very aggressively. He's like, you know what? I don't actually care about objectives. I am here for kills.
Yeah.
But as you said, free Drake, they have to give with the pressure that those inhib waves are pushing out.
Oh my, really deep for Microscopic Rick. He is feeling that. But the stolen stolen Sejuani ult. Hippo looks for the counter engage, but Hippo is incredibly low, and Tail Whip is just swinging in the bat line. Exhaust probably coming down a little bit too late, and this gold lead is just starting to show. Tail Whip very low, gotta be careful. Caridian low a little bit as well, but Microscopic Rip is a beefy boy. Looks like he's got his Fimbulwinter finished as well, so he's got almost about 3,500 health. 2 for 1 tactical. Poor tactical went down with ulti up again, but 2 for 1 in favor, and this is going to be the free Baron as Janky H just has to stop their base from going down, and gonna be a walk-in, frankly, from Inting Toasters Inc. looking to put a stamp on this statement series week 3.
Yeah, I mean, Critting is definitely shaking up this squad. Feels bad to be tactical in that situation, right? We asked, hey, who is this Cinder going to one-shot on the comp? Well, it turns out the support that's sitting on 2 items with no tank stats. But with that against it was 3 items plus the pen boots and the pen Bs at the time. Syndra, that's not one that you're going to win. Gets the one-shot at the end. Even with the overextension, the flash R from Malphite, super difficult to follow up because of the distance you get on it. Another case of just chucking the vault at the other team and coming out on top. You can't underestimate those leads, and you have to be able to pick your fights very carefully. But when the other team's doing the picking, it hurts.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough one. This is going to be kind of a walk-in with the Baron. Inhibitors open, so they're probably just going to have to make a last stand. Nice turret line on the side of Janky Old Ape, so we'll have to see who's going to brave that turret line. They may just walk around it into one of the exposed inhibitors.
Look at that cannon doing his damage.
There's the stolen Malphite, so I think we know where the engage is going to come from. Stun coming down onto the Malphite, but not really going to do a whole lot. And the Baroned up minions, the Siege minion just kind of pushing through. They're going to have to push it. Okay, so the Malphite ult doing a great job of pushing down. Counter Malphite ult. Don't think it's going to be enough. Swiss Army Cabinet going down. Inhibitor is low. Tail Whip on a killing spree. I'll take mid, however, goes down almost immediately, but Wojtek and Swiss Army already down. And this is going to be a rout, and this is going to be a 2-0 Inting Toasters Inc. Week 1. On the wrong side of a 14,000 gold loss, 2-0 against a deathless Bloodbath and Beyond and San Antonio Spurs. Week 2, similar rough match against the Boomer Bombers, but 2-0 against the Janky Old Apes. Well played, and Rudy, I think MVP is pretty straightforward in this situation.
I mean, Tail did end with a quadra there, and he did most damage game 1. But I agree. It has to be Caridian. Just came back to the league after his hiatus, stepped up, took on the jungle role for this defeated squad, and pulled them to a clean sweep in his first game back. And yeah, look at those damage graphs. Caridian, mid, Tail, pumping out the numbers. It's gotta be Caridian, right?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Okay,
yeah. It
same
has to.
page.
There's the plays that he made to bring his team back from the absolute brink. He just not only refused to say die, but also just kept looking for engages and setting his team up. Well played. He matched Rook Stout jungle macro play for jungle macro play and just became an absolute nuisance across the board. So yeah, I think Caridian, if he's interested, excuse me, I got the hiccups. Hello, Caridian. Congratulations. You are our MVP. Coming out of nowhere, incredible comeback in game one and just really taking it to the Janky Old Apes in game two. How are you feeling after this win?
I'm feeling pretty good. I just want to give a shout out to Spartan for paying my way into the league, as well as paying for the rest of the team's way into the league, and then
Wow.
dipping.
Hey, you know what? That's a
We don't say
classy
that
move by
name
him.
anymore.
Oh
Hey,
shit.
no. Hey, let's give credit where credit is due. You know, the guy decided that he was done with League of Legends, but hey, that's a class act paying your team's way. And thank you so much for not only for joining the roster so that the team could play the rest of the season, but just
Of course.
rolling in and just doing work.
Yeah, thanks for the
especially in that game
entertainment.
one.
Yeah, man. Of course. I just want to give a shout out to Seraphine. Yeah, the Seraphine ults were on point, and yeah, it was a good game.
It was. So let's talk through game one because honestly, I thought that was going to be a rout for the Janky Old Apes, but you refused to give in. How did y'all coordinate that comeback? And it was an impressive comeback.
So I mean, the champ select was kind of random. I don't really play Vibe, but whenever I saw Maokai, I guess I don't know. She kind of like disregards their CC whenever I ult. So I said pick me Vi, and then I mean in the beginning I was a little frustrated because all the lanes were like not really gankable. But in the end, whenever we all pressed R, we just won. It just came together.
That's awesome. And you know, able to come back. I think in the top lane, I'll take mid had an incredible kite back. Going into game two, what adjustments did you want to make to ensure a much more successful early game? Because as you mentioned, the lanes were struggling a little bit early. What adjustments did you have to make in order to set yourself up for that 2-0?
You know, we didn't really. That's a little going too deep. We don't really think that too far into it. I don't think I don't think we're at that level yet. But we
Fair
just
enough.
picked our champs and we played the game. But also,
I mean,
Eli's a dog.
yeah.
But I want to say I'm happy to be on his team,
That's
as
awesome.
well as the rest of the crew. They're great people.
Well, great. I'm so glad you got to join us again for a season. Rudy, any questions or thoughts for our MVP?
Yeah, I mean, how did you feel just throwing your body at them again and again until it finally worked midway through that game?
Yeah. Yeah. I just feel like people in TCL are kind of like the other teams are just kind of like sleepers. They don't really expect plays to happen. They just like, I don't know. They just think it's gonna go their way. But I just wanted to disrupt that a little bit.
I think you definitely came in and shook things up for your squad. Honestly, all I have left to say is like, well played in GG's, my man. That was fun.
Thank you. Appreciate the interview.
Yeah, congratulations. Any last minute words? You shouted out anything else for the fans at home?
Not really. I think that'll wrap it up.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations. Go celebrate with your team.
Appreciate it, you guys.
Alrighty, Rudy, I'm going to make this quick. It's been a long day. Thank you so much for casting. Thank you all so much for joining us. Inting Toasters Inc. 2-0, going to improve to 1-2 on the back of their MVP jungler, Caridian. Rudy, any final thoughts before we sign off?
Just thank you all for sticking with us through this exciting TCL doubleheader, and I have nothing but positive thoughts about what it's gonna bring to us in week 4.
Yes, and speaking of week 4, just a quick shout out for next week's schedule. On October 9th, which I believe is a Sunday, we're going to have ourselves, the Crowd Control, facing off against the Janky Old Apes. So I'll be there, and I know you'll be there. But yeah, on behalf of Rudy as well as Droid, who did our production, and then big shout out to the early crew for casting our game. Thank you so much. I'm Jaws. Have fun, and we'll see you on Sunday.